I just bought this house. 8 months ago, I became a homeowner. It's a quaint 1,200 square foot Philadelphia row home, and this middle section of the house is built out of 150-year-old timbers. Check it out. So cool. It's like 150 years old. How about that? I waived all inspections when I bought the house, so boy was it a surprise when I realized it was obliterated by termites. Yeah, that's no good. Because of all the damage, we had to tear a whole section of the house down, and now we're framing it back bigger and better. Last week, we finished preparations for a beam that needs to be installed. Good news. We got the concrete in. It's a heavy beam. The framers are supposed to be here, but because of the rain, they're a little bit late. Hopefully they're coming later today. But there's a few things I can do to get this beam ready for when they come to install it. And one of those things is fire cutting. This is just something the inspector is going to look for. So I'm just cutting off a bit of the top corner here. Basically what that does is if the house burns down, it's not going to pry up the brick wall if this beam falls, and it kind of gives it room to fall out of the pocket. And then the other thing we're going to do is wrap this whole end. That is essentially to stop moisture. You know, anytime wood is touching brick, you just like to have some type of barrier. So I've marked this all out. Here it is, all wrapped up, trimmed off, neatly packaged. Nice. That's a wrap on a pretty hectic day in the rain. First, lumber, ready for the third floor, nice. And upstairs, it was supposed to stop raining like 2 hours ago, and it's still going. And unfortunately, the crew left because we didn't want to take off the tarps, but we got all the framing done and we're ready for the subfloor tomorrow, hopefully, when the rain's gone, so we can sheathe all this. And the big news is we got the beam in. And it was pretty challenging. So at first we got it in here and then it was just sitting in the pocket and we realized it wasn't quite level. So then we added a shim here, but then we realized that when we added the shim there, then it wouldn't meet up with the floor and the height of these walls and everything. So we had to take that shim out and then we had to take a brick out over there and shim on that side. And it was complicated, but it's done now. We also got a bunch of these lag screws in, and that was per the engineer's spec to attach this existing joist to our new PSL. But the floor is coming along and I'm excited to get this roof on. Another riveting day of framing here on site. Tomorrow we're going to try to get the ridge beam in. The lumber's coming for the roof on Thursday. Very excited to have a roof again. It's going to be a beautiful day. There's something very zen about cleaning up the job site after the crew leaves. Just the contrast between the loud workday and then the quiet when everyone goes home. Cleaning up, you just get that good feeling and get to see everything that's been created today. It's cool. It's very cool. We're 35 episodes into this series now, and believe it or not, I am far from an expert at Adobe Premiere, which I use to edit these videos. For the past decade, I've been working in Photoshop. That program I've mastered and I feel super comfortable in. But honestly, with Adobe Premiere, I have a lot to learn, and that's where the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare, can really help. Skillshare is the largest online learning community with thousands of classes led by industry experts on topics from design to film and video and so much more. Specifically, I'm looking to up my skills in Adobe Premiere, and I found a great class that can help me be more efficient in the program and make these videos even better. So if you're looking to learn a new skill or master a program, Skillshare is a great place to start. The first 500 people to use my link in the description of this video are gonna get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today. Let me show you the progress here after day 2 of framing. Still don't have a floor here, unfortunately. We ran out of subfloor, but also this is open because I want to do this light well situation where this will be like a glass or polycarbonate or something. But that's going to be for the future, and along with a lot of projects, I just want to kind of rush through and get into the house as soon as possible and not have to rush these really intricate, detailed projects that I have a lot of ideas for. It's things like this, but also this wall down here between the winder stair and the first floor stair. Eventually I want to like have some type of mesh or screen or something transparent. But for now, it's probably just going to be drywall because that's cheap and easy, and then I can move in. Also, just a side note, I love this view of the house where you can see both staircases, and it's just so wild, like curving up there and curving around here. It's just unlike any other house, even in Philly, that I've been in, and circulation is one of the more fun parts of a home. Yeah, I'm so excited to see this all polished and finished. But back to the framing, we got a lot of walls, we got some doors. Couple notes here. These door sizes are actually to reuse some of the original doors. I want to have glass doors so that the light from that big window can come through, and for this door, then all the light from the skylights above will come into the bathroom. And luckily I already have those doors. I'm gonna have to try to learn how to build a custom frame and install it, but we'll figure that out. And probably the most exciting thing from today, wow, look at that beam up there. Wow. And along with the beam, we got our steel hardware, we got our triple 2x6s on either side. And now that we have this beam in here, we're pretty much ready to put a roof on it, which would be so crazy. It's a day I've waited for a long time. Yeah, I ordered, I think it was like 17 20-foot long 2x10s that'll just span all the way, and then some 3/4 inch plywood to put on top of that, and then no more water. A little bit more progress here. A little bit slower than yesterday. The guys finished up the stud work for these 2 walls back here. And now the star of the show. Bet you can guess what these are. Yeah, that's the start of a beautiful roof. It's gonna be sad to lose all this light, but I absolutely can't wait to get this skylight framed and just kind of get a sense for the light for the very first time. We also eventually have to frame a skylight in this existing roof, which is gonna be a little challenging for sure. We will see. Tomorrow is Friday, and hopefully roof day. Good morning. It's Friday, and the crew's not here. They had to call off for some reason. It's whatever. I've had to call them off enough times, so it's fine to be on the other side of that. But the good news, for one, I hear the trash truck outside picking up a few bags. Nice. And two, we got some work to do here. We got a lot of little miscellaneous things. And I much prefer filming when I'm working alone. When the crew's here, I just don't like to get in their way. And most of the time, I'm just taking little iPhone clips of what they're doing. Now let's get started on a few little things I need to do today. First order of business, we need a little temporary railing. You know, keep things safe around here. So we got a nice piece of scrap, perfect size. I spent a lot of time yesterday just denailing a lot of this scrap wood. It's nice to be able to make it do something instead of just sitting in a corner on site. Get our measure, 40, call it 45 and a half. I think I want to do maybe another support right there. Oh yeah. A few screws. You know, it's not exactly level, but close enough. There you have it. A little bit of safety. Next thing here, these are not exactly level. They're really close, but I need to take a little bit off of the tops here because this beam is pushing them out of level. I'm gonna keep this old wood here. Fine place to put drywall onto. Yeah, tiny bit. That right there is perfect. I think that'll do. That'll do. That'll do. A couple nails. Look at that, a nail right here. Next project is this wall, which has been a little bit silly for a while because it's so wobbly, it's not secured to anything, and I've thought about it a lot, and I think I want to keep it, for now at least. You know, it could always be removed later if I wanted a little bit of extra elbow room down the stairs. My thought is I really do love having this motif of the old historic wood throughout the house. So you enter, and in the living room, you have the exposed joists in the ceiling. These old joists are so beautiful. And then you walk upstairs and you have this moment by the stairs. And then when you get to the third floor, I'm going to have exposed rafters. So they're this element that really tie together, I think, the story of the house. And also, some people have asked about this brick wall. This is a shared brick wall between my neighbor and I, and it counts as a 2-hour firewall. It's 2 courses of solid brick. So I'm not too worried about having this exposed wood right here because you have a giant firewall right here. So if my neighbor's house were to catch on fire, it gives the fire department time to put it out before something like this wood framing would burn. So the plan here, for one, this isn't level up here, and obviously it's not long enough, so maybe I'll put another stud in the corner that comes all the way up. And then I think I want to use one of the old joists to basically make a shelf that runs across, and then this will be kind of like a plant wall feature. I could imagine having some pothos and whatever type of hanging plant to take advantage of the skylights and bring some green into this light well area. And I think integrating some function with this shelf into this interesting historic wall structure will be pretty interesting. It is really cool to see these old mortise and tenon joints. And to try to get this one flush, I kind of took it apart, cleaned it. Gonna need to get rid of that nail. And you can see it's the mortise and tenon, and then they put a peg through to kind of lock it, which is interesting. I just had a guy, Andrew, stop by the house. It's always fun to show people around. And I want to tell you a little story here. My boots that I've worn through this whole project have a pretty sizable hole in them, and you definitely don't want that. Got a hole here too. I did the math, and I walk 2 miles every single day to take the subway to get here. These boots have put in like 400 miles at least. So they're at the end of their life. And I put on Instagram yesterday the situation of my boots. This great guy, Andrew, was like, yo, dude, I got boots. Here we are. Proud owner of some properly solid work boots. So I think my feet will be safe from nails for a while longer. Thanks, Andrew. Framers just showed up after all. So let's put this project on hold, build a roof. Wow, 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 look at that. All right, what an incredible week. I am just overjoyed to have a roof. Come on, to see the skylight for the first time, skylight there, there's gonna be another skylight over there. To have this place covered and feeling more like a house, it's so exciting. So much to do. All the systems, all the insulation, all of the drywall, all of the finishing. Plenty more work to do, but we're making great progress here. I want to give a huge shout out to Rose Valley Renovations. They do waste removal. They follow me on Instagram and offered a free clean out, and they did a great job.